Okay.
On the bright side, I didn't need to heal up anything because I was already at full health. Aha!
We haven't fought anything yet.
Not today.
The following day, you guys wake up nice and early in the morning. I'll just jump back to Vaskia the following day first.
No problem.
You guys wake up and it's really early. Like really early. Mostly because of how cold it is in Vaskia. It's wake up pretty early. Also, everyone seems to go to bed quite early in Vaskia, just because of like the seasons changing and that sort of thing, going more into the wintry kind of fall and winter seasons.
That makes sense.
Yep.
You go to bed early, you wake up early.
Mm-hmm. So, you guys wake up early. What exactly did you want to do?
Me or Jake?
Both of you.
Well,
I'll let him go because I don't really have anything super important right now.
Okay.
what was that?
I'll let you go first because I don't really have anything like super important right now.
Well, I imagine when Clovis and Diana are awake, Lesyra's already awake since she went to bed a bit earlier, and she's basically just there, putting her cloak on and everything, and she waves goodbye to them and says she'll be back in a few days, and then she's gonna head back to Passage.
Okay. So Lesyra heads back to the guild. While Diana stays there with Clovis and the others.
The Chloe's boyfriend.
The Clovis boyfriend. So Lesyra, you head back to the guild, and you walk inside. A cold blow of the winter air following you in as you close the door behind you. And you see Nate is there. It appears as though she's tried to stay up all night to catch this culprit. And she's fallen asleep on her sort of desk chair, looking at the teleportation circle. And posted up around her on her desk are these quite detailed
Oh no.
Yeah. Artist drawings of individuals of all kinds of different races just going at it in different ways.
Oh no.
Do they look like anybody, like any actual person I recognize?
Not really. They're just kind of a whole bunch of different people. Like random, seemingly random people.
Lesyra just kind of snaps her face.
She what? Sorry.
Lesyra snaps her fingers near Nate's face.
All right. So you snap your fingers, and Nate suddenly just like wakes up and and she like fumbles for like the wand at her belt before she looks up and
paintings like those. Just
no,
like big massive puzzle.
not crazy orgies. They're just kind of like individual. She reaches for like the wand, but then she looks up and sees you, so she just kind of hurriedly puts it away. And she's like, "Oh, I did." And then she wipes like the drool from her cheek, and she says, "Oh, you needed to be sent back."
Lesyra says, "Well, I can take care of it, but I think you might want to take care of that." And she points to the pictures.
Yeah, Nate turns around and she's like, "Oh, son of a bitch! I was oh." She just You can see, like, she just like places her face like in her hand, and she's like, "I stayed up so long to try
Who
and catch
has the
them out."
time?
She's like doing like watch. It's actually her. She's just doing it in her sleep. She's all like, "I'll catch the culprit," and she's like, "Oh," I felt like, "God damn it!" She's like in her sleep. She's like scribbling dicks all over the place.
Yeah, it's not like they aren't like it's not like one big massive drawing of a whole big crazy orgy or anything like that. It's just like individual people, like just couples in various positions doing stuff, and like it doesn't seem to be anyone you've ever met or anyone you recognize. You don't even know if these are real people or if just some artist like drawing a whole bunch of smut, and then just to come breaking into the guild and leaving it here, like.
Lesyra just starts walking over to the teleporter, and she says, "I'll be back in a few days. If it's still going on, I'll see what I can do to help you."
She
See what I can do to help you. She draws more like sex positions all over the place.
she waves goodbye, and she's like, "Thanks." As you teleport away.
I imagine that the first time it happened, she would have been like really amused, but then it continued to happen, and it became a pro, and she was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh shit, this isn't good."
So you teleport back to the guild in passage, and almost immediately you can hear this voice chattering on.
Oh my god.
And it's this blue dragonborn again. He's kind of chasing around Nessie and kind of like showing her his research and talking about how he might have made a breakthrough and all this kind of stuff. And she's just sitting there like rubbing her temples and just looking down at the scrawlings that you can see as you walk by that are his quote unquote research. And it's all in Draconic, and it's everywhere. There's no seemingly no order to any of it. There's just the words and incantations and images and runes just strewn about all over these pages that he's like pointing at and showing her. And he's doing it with like great enthusiasm. Like he's really into this. You can tell, like he's really passionate about this, but God, she could not be further on the other end of the scale.
Does she notice Lesyra?
You feel like she notices you, but she just doesn't have the energy to deal with all of this and you. So she's just kind of ignoring you.
She's like,
I cannot acknowledge you right now.
Yeah.
Well, as Lesyra is leaving the building, she waits for Nessie to make eye contact with her and just says, "Have fun."
Oh god.
"Oh my god."
So as you do this, like as you're leaving, and she finally like looks up past all of these papers in front of her at you, and you say, "Have fun," and you're closing the door behind you. You see her face go like red with anger.
I need to ask this question because it's important. Did Lesyra have her shit-eating grin?
Of course.
When does she not have it?
Yeah, when does she not?
Assume she has it at all times unless otherwise specified. Like,
Yeah, that's what I assume.
Yeah.
Her two modes are shit-eating grin and I'm mad.
Pure anger.
Also, I'm horny.
That's another good one.
That too.
Yeah.
That's a third mode.
It's like that's she has three emotions. It's like shit-eating grin, pissed, and horny. Just
There's like a Venn diagram of like where they overlap with each
on
other.
a scale of one, on a scale to like cocky to actually I want cock. Where are you?
Good, perfect.
Right in the middle.
Just like at all
I
3
want
points,
both.
like in the middle, all the way on the right and all the way on the left, is just all 3 pictures of Lesyra. Anyway, You make your way back through the passage streets, which, by comparison, now that you step out into passage, you feel really warm, almost like sweating compared to the cold up in Vaskia when you walk from the palace to the guild. Just from the crazy temperature switch, you feel really, really warm. And you almost have to like breathe a sigh of relief when you enter the shade of the scabbard. As everyone awake and having breakfast.
So as she walks up to the door of the scabbard, she just kind of clears her throat for a moment, and then she opens the door and looks to see if Eris is in the room.
Yes, indeed. Eris is in the room. She's kind of like drinking her tea and flipping through one of her books, like her usual morning ritual. She looks up at you and she smiles.
As Lesyra begins approaching her, she says while her teeth are clenched, "Hey, Eris, we need to talk."
So mad. Eris slowly closes her book and kind of perches her chin up on her palm. She's like, "Whatever about, dear?"
Don't punch the pregnant woman.
And as she says this, Lesyra has like this, almost like a smile on her face, but she's still talking through her clenched teeth, and she says, "Next time you choose to do something evil, why don't you tell your darling little princess about it first?"
She looks at you for a couple of moments, and then she kind of like, you can see she tries really hard to avoid laughing, but there's a little sort of like snicker that gets through, and then she like slaps her face with her palm to try and catch it and stop it. And then she kind of like clears her throat and she says, "I'm ever so sorry, dear. I had no idea that you two were an item. I wouldn't have wished that upon you."
I was like, she knows.
Oh yeah.
Lesyra's face turns red and she says, "We are not an item."
Okay.
Do I hear this? Am I like downstairs hearing this?
I assume. Well, it's up to you guys if you went down to have breakfast in the dining hall there. So
yeah,
if
I'm
you are,
assuming.
then,
I just want to
yeah,
hear her say, "We are not an item." I'm like, whoa, what? Do I have to roll? Like, what do I roll?
Oh no, you probably wouldn't have to roll perception. Like she pretty much screamed that.
Like just like what the fuck? Like she just like looks over like the fuck.
Yeah, you can see them out in the main hall of the guild building. And
Lesyra still has no idea that they're there, but she just kind of
Jeffrey does not open the door. He just kind of
He's just listening.
he's just like,
he's just
nope.
eavesdropping.
No,
He's just all like he's just like sipping his tea, like go on.
without being able to look Eris in the eye, she just kind of says, "You know, things just happen sometimes."
And Eris smiles and nods, and she's like, "Oh, I know. I just, I just don't understand why you're so upset if you guys aren't really a thing."
Oh my god.
Lesyra once again kind of shouts, "I am not upset."
Eris just kind of smiles and nods. she says, "Is his face better now, dear?"
Did you kiss it better?
I mean, I guess so. I haven't really seen him since since the night before last.
She says, "Well, if it seemed okay then you can probably stop using it now."
And Lesyra scratches her head and kind of frustratedly says, "Yeah, that doesn't change what's already happened."
I think the worst part about all this is that he's been following and freezing it over and over.
Oh.
Eris puts her book and her tea down, and she stands up and she snaps her fingers, and next to her this spiraling purple like portal opens up, this gateway. And she just kind of steps through it. And the gateway remains open. And a few moments later, she steps back out of the gateway and hands you this small, like a crystal bottle. And then she snaps her fingers again, and the gateway closes up and seals behind you, behind her, and then with a little pop, it vanishes. And she hands you this little crystal bottle, and she says, "Tell him to bathe with this once a day, dear, and all of your worries will melt away."
Lesyra just kind of looks over and says, "Yeah, what's this, bull semen?"
she kind of has a bit of a chuckle, and she says, "No, but I'll keep that in mind. Should a cheeky pranking mood arise again later."
Oh no.
But no, this will help, let's say, cleanse him of any of this sort of thing. I'm sure you'll appreciate it. And I'm sure he will too.
That's beautiful.
Also, he can keep the scrotum. I don't want it back.
Oh my
Oh, come
God.
on!
Oh no!
The wording
On
in
both
that.
sides. Ow! Can't even roll advantage on this one. Yikes! Yikes!
So, inside on the bottle, I assume?
Yeah, yeah, basically. What she's, yeah.
It seems, honestly, that she believes that she means well with the bottle. She didn't mean well with, like, the scrotum, you can tell that much. But the bottle, she genuinely, this is like an apology bottle.
She just kind of looks it over and says, "What does this do?"
It's a body wash for when one is bathing. It'll properly cleanse him. Good as new.
Concerneth.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, there'll be no trace of the events occurring. So long as he stops using it.
It's like he never rubbed nuts on his face.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So Lesyra just kind of looks over it again, and then she puts puts it puts it back in her pocket and says, "Just all right. Just please, if you're gonna do this again, let me know first."
Oh, I will, dear. Let you know, that is.
I'm not stopping. I do what I want.
You're not the boss of me.
But yeah, he says, "Oh, I'll let you know. I'll be sure to give you plenty of warning."
And then, at this point, Lesyra turns her head towards the kitchen and sees Faye and Gunther.
Well, not Gunther. You see Faye. Gunther's
just like
his
really
head down.
confused.
Oh, okay.
Confuzzled.
And
Yeah, he's listening.
Okay, so she
but
looks over and sees Faye.
He's listening, but he wasn't stuck to the door.
Okay. Lesyra looks over and sees Faye, and she just turns bright red and says, "How much of that did you hear?"
About the part where he said we're not an item?
You practically yelled it.
Yeah, you kind of yelled it.
Gunther in the back. Like,
She doesn't even go here.
And after that, Lesyra just kind of like silently just walks away up the stairs to her room.
Okay.
Silent embarrassment.
She just kind of like looks. Faye just kind of looks at Eris and is just like, Jesus.
Eris
Do you
shrugs.
always do this with your apprentices?
Eris just kind of has a bit of a giggle and she says, "Oh, she's the first one, dear."
Quick question.
Hopefully
Nick.
not the last.
Did we did Jeffrey have any guesses as to who she was referring to, or
Roll an insight check.
is that it? There it is.
Oh my god.
I'm an insightful
Um,
person.
I'm not sure because like we never found out about the
No,
gold
we
scroll
never
thing. I think that
did.
was yeah, so that's like specifically a Diana and Lesyra thing. So
Yeah, it is true.
you could, yeah.
You can void that roll, actually.
Well, I mean, like, she
No,
looked at Faye
Lacey-
kind of funny, so.
Yeah, you're right, Lacey. So
I mean, I don't quite remember if you guys were.
I don't think so.
we weren't. That was like specifically like Diana went up to Eris and asked her what the scrotum, like that
yeah.
whole
the
thing
photo
was.
I'm not so.
Everyone was there
Yeah.
except for
I
Lesyra.
was more
Yeah.
like asking about.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
everyone was
right.
there
Oh,
except
everyone was
Lesyra.
I was there. You're right.
Oh wait, you're right.
Yeah. It's just like I was just thinking like who was there, to see like Lesyra escort Pip home.
Oh.
And I'm not sure who was outside to see them go.
I think Faye was busy talking to Bo.
Yeah.
She was busy having her own relations. Whoops.
Lol. So, all right. So you aren't sure who they were talking about, but presumably some guy that Lesyra has been involved with recently. And Eris somehow got involved in the situation and pulled a
Because why would she
prank of
not?
sorts on this guy. And that's upset Lesyra. That's pretty much all you can glean from it.
Yeah, it's good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I mean,
I know you're saying that out of character, but just like how you said it, was just like that's good.
no, that's
He's
what
like
you
taking a
saying
sip
that.
of his tea.
Alrighty. Well, Chris and I have to go have dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
But
go to
we
bed.
will... Okay.
Oh wait. Okay, you're
I was
calling
going to
for
say,
a
like, we
break.
can come back after dinner, but
Yeah, because there
if
was
you're
some stuff we wanted to do.
No,
but we
no,
were
it's
just, like,
okay. I don't mind
if you're
playing
too
some
tired,
more.
like you can... Okay.
Yeah,
I really don't
I
mind.
feel like we. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think we're gonna be that much super longer.
No, it's
Yeah,
okay. I
no,
can
just-
wait.
Okay.
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 I'm
Alright.
not that
Okay.
tired. I literally
It's just
just
like, the sun's just rising.
I literally just
We'll keep
assume
it.
you.
Yeah.
I literally just assume you were gonna say something like we're gonna end it here or something.
Oh, yeah, no.
But yeah, I'll
we'll
stop.
come back and we'll do like a...
Just trying to like wrap things up in a better way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a very awkward way to end a session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll stop. Sorry
Okay.
for that delayed go.
So... Yes.
Lesyra went up to her room. Yes.
Okay.
And after that big outburst,
Yes.
we're
So...
not an item. What?
Yes.
What?
Why? So Lesyra, you. Yes, you. So what? What would you like to do after the incident?
Punch a wall.
Yell. We just like hear like her just screaming up there.
Muffled screaming.
Just like, excuse me one moment. Ah!
Screams.
So,
Sorry for that. Go ahead.
after calming herself down, Lesyra is going to find a quiet place and try to talk to Terranax.
Shit.
Okay, so you concentrate and you calm yourself from all the thoughts and the internal screaming, and then and then you contact Terranax. What in particular do you want to say? Do you want to just start it out with like bull scrotum, or do you want to just like ease into it?
It's like, oh god.
Lesyra wants to ask him about when.
About what? Sorry.
Wants to ask him if he knows who Winterpierce is.
Okay. You feel discomfort from his end, and then he asks you where you've heard the name and why you're asking him.
Well, remember how I talked to you a few months ago about how King of Askir, well, not the King of Askir, but how the town of Killentor was attacked by what would be an ancient white dragon?
I recall.
Well, we recently talked to King of Askir, and he said he had made some sort of a shady deal with a white dragon named Winterpierce.
Terranax remains quiet for a little while, and then he says, "What kind of shape is this king in?"
He's on his deathbed.
That sounds about right. Well, I know of Winterpierce. This isn't the first time he's done something like this. Not in this land, but I suppose since moving here, it is the first time. He is something of a nemesis of mine. He explains that Terranax isn't originally from here. He's from a island to the west of here, and he explains that there was another dragon that, well, another of the chromatic dragons who professed their love to a different chromatic dragon, and that chromatic dragon turned them down, saying that they were instead interested in Winterpierce, and Winterpierce kindly accepted and had offspring with that other dragon, causing the first one to go into some sort of meltdown. And soon after that, Winterpierce, after that other dragon went into a meltdown and Winterpierce was there to witness that, he then left the continent and headed east, and Taranax is, he's here ultimately trying to seek balance for that western continent. So he's here hunting down Winterpierce. However, in the shape that he's in, Taranax being a much older dragon and, being a little bit out of practice in combat of the sorts, he hasn't really been able to fulfill that goal. So that's why he was hoping that by bringing you in with the deal that you guys have made and your connection that you've made, that he was hoping that you might help him complete his task.
And Lesyra says, "Well, after what after what he did to Killentor, I can't let him get up with that."
Yes.
And she says, "What? The thing that's confusing me the most is that Winterfierce seems really different for a white dragon."
Yes, he has all the cunning and the wit and the manipulative ability of a green dragon. But that's because the dragon that fell in love with him was a green dragon, and he kind of learned her ways from her. The other dragon left heartbroken was also a green dragon. It's very uncommon for a chromatic dragon to breed outside of its type, shall we say. But for whatever reason, this one saw something in Winterpierce. Maybe it was his power or his pride or his ego, whatever it was that she was attracted to about him. Maybe she sought to manipulate him in some way, but ended up getting manipulated herself. She did chase him here.
Oh no.
But I don't know where she is now.
Well,
Or if she is even still here.
Oh, wait a minute.
We do know of a green dragon.
Yeah, and as he says, he says that was in the Greenwood, right?
You're asking me, or
Yeah, I'm asking you out of character.
yes, the Greenwood.
Okay, and Lesyra just for a moment has a moment of realization, and she says, "We heard from a little birdie that there's a dragon in the Greenwood."
Interesting. It may be worthwhile making contact with this green dragon and maybe trying to learn some sort of weakness that Winterpierce may have. If anyone would know, it would be her. Maybe if he did manipulate her or con her out of something, she might feel pretty spiteful having chased him here. So that could be handy.
I mean, he's weak for the pussy.
Oh my god.
Jesus!
I'm sorry.
It's so out of nowhere. I'm sorry. So, yes. Taranak says that it may be beneficial to hunt her down, track her down, and find out his weaknesses from her. Be very careful, however, doing so, because green dragons are very well known for their cunning and their scheming, their manipulations. She may very well end up using you as a pawn in her revenge scheme. If you're okay with that, I mean, that's up to you, but be wary that she doesn't use you to enact any more damage.
As long as Winterpierce dies, I don't care. And Lesyra thinks for a moment. She says, "So the curse he placed on the King of Askir is likely going to transfer to his son once he dies. We're in the process of finding a way to remove it, but if we do that, should we be concerned about the possibility of him taking matters into his own hands?"
If the curse is removed from the king or from whoever is the main holder of that curse, the person bestowing the curse for this type of curse, I assume it's the bloodline one that he's used in the past before, it would be, well, one and the same. So yes, he would know that it's been disbanded, and he may very well seek to just use straight up violence.
All right, we have preparations in place in case that happens, but I just want to know if we should be on the lookout for that.
I would remain vigilant should you remove the curse. Up until that point, you may be safe. He may not want to show his hand too early, but yeah, be mindful.
Can you guys think of anything else I should ask him?
Does he know why Winterpierce does this? Like, it was Clovis, right? It's just like Clovis and the king, anyway.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was like, does he know why Winterpierce is doing this? Like, why is he?
Yeah. So she just kind of says, "So, what does a dragon want with a city anyway?"
Well, in Winterpierce's case, in the past certainly, he has sought to take over the city and then run it into the ground. He's sought to, using manipulation and without having to really lift a finger of his own, he's managed to bring down other towns, cities, entire civilizations, and he kind of delights in that fact. He keeps a tally.
Oh my god!
So he's just doing this to be a dick.
Essentially, he enjoys it.
I mean, I suppose it makes sense. They see like humanoids as like lesser beings, so like, to him it's just whatever.
Yep.
I can't really think of anything right now. You guys?
Not really.
Well, it was actually really good information, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, Lesyra says, "All right. Well, I'll keep in touch. I'll keep in touch with you once we know what we're doing about this."
Very well. All right. So once you're finished speaking with Terranax, was there anything else that we wanted to do?
At this point, Lesyra is going to go back down, and she's going to have a chat with the rest of the scabbards. So this would be a good time to go on with somebody else.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything else they want to do before having a talk with Lesyra?
I think most of the stuff I need to do is like midday stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Well, so Lesyra comes back downstairs and comes to speak with everyone. Eris comes in as well to go and refill her tea. So you catch her at the right time too.
Oh,
Is
man.
Simone here too?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be beautiful when she gets into that later pregnancy. She's drinking tea all the time.
Yeah. Running to the bathroom constantly.
Yeah. Every 5 minutes. Anyway, sorry, go on.
So Lesyra gathers everybody around near the Simone's desk, and she starts sharing everything that Terranax just shared with her.
Mm-hmm.
And after she's shared all of that, she awkwardly scratches her head and says, "Well, I don't want to feel like I'm putting pressure on anybody, but whatever we do about this, we're going to have to make a decision soon, because once the king dies, this curse is going to move on to Clovis, and once it moves on to Clovis, well, the next target's Diana."
Yeah, it's probably something that we should, really be focusing on, and probably sorry, my brain. Yeah, it's just probably something we need to, make a quick decision about. It's probably something we need to plan out, and something fast too. We don't really have a lot of time to just sit around and come up with the perfect compromise. It's just something that we need to figure out soon and now. I'm sorry.
Hang in there,
Italian.
sweetie. You're doing great.
Yeah, really there.
I'm very tired.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and
Faye raises a good point.
well, I do have some good news about anything related to the curse. We have pretty much all the ingredients we need.
Minus the soul.
Yeah, we
But
just need
that's
to
something-
transfer a piece of someone's soul in there.
We figured we'd get everyone here, but since, Diana isn't with us, it may be a little hard, and then Faye just kind of like pipes in. She's like, I think I can probably get a hold of her. Probably today. And ask her opinion.
Lesyra says, "Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and go through with my plan to find out to take Alula wherever she needs to go. And while I'm out, I'm going to go by the Greenwood and see if the green dragon there is the same one that Terranax, that my patron, was referring to." And
You just immediately correct yourself. It's,
My
Are you
secret
sure?
contact.
Are you sure it's wise to go by yourself?
probably not.
oh God, no.
As soon as you mentioned the Greenwoods, you can kind of see like a little bit of a discomfort from Faye.
And yeah, Lesyra just kind of Lesyra thinks back to their conversation about Ilthine, and she turns to Gunther and says, "If you'd like to accompany me, then I mean, I guess I guess there's strength in numbers, but I'm going whether you're going or not."
Oh, I know.
That's Gunther, roll an insight check from me.
Yes. Sight.
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
You
Yikes!
you know that this is probably the closest you're going to get to Lesyra legitimately asking for help. So.
Holy shit!
Yeah, well, if you do need help, I'll just come along.
Faye
Oh,
kind of thinks for a bit, and she's like, I'd like to help, but I'm not really welcome. I mean, it's not. We're not going to my home. What?
I'm sorry, out of character, sorry to interrupt. Can you enter the Greenwood through Karenai rather than Ilthine, though? Because it's really close.
It's not the fact that it's like I'm like going through Ilfiend. It's the fact that she's near Ilfiend is the issue.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of her people. Well, I don't want to say, but you could kind of get the gist. A lot of her people are in that general area, and that's not technically the best idea for her to, just go in there blindly and everything. But she was like, I really want to help and everything like that. But, it's not really the smartest to, for me to go near.
I'll lend you my brother instead.
I'll lend
But yeah, she just kind of like, sorry, my brain just goes. Anyways, she just goes, I kind of want to help, but it's not particularly wise for me to be in that area. However, and she kind of looks over at Eris, she says, "Is there any way of like finding a way to disguise myself, to maybe alter how I look, or maybe hide how I appear, and then maybe then I can help out? Because I as much as I don't want to go near home, this is almost not an option. I can't just ignore what's going on just for my own selfish needs."
Eris very heartily nods, and she says, "I can make you look however you want to look."
Would it be possible? Would it be possible for me to almost change like my race in a way to make me look like a different race?
Absolutely, dear.
She looks over at you guys and she's like, "Okay, I'm in."
Do you want to be a tiefling? It's so much fun.
Sure, why the fuck not? No, I think Faye's just gonna have to think about it, and she's like, I mean, as much as I think that's a really cool idea and it'd be kind of neat to see what it's like, and she kind of stops and she's like, "One thing you need to know about my hometown is that they're not particularly accepting of outsiders, and they're, I guess you could say, a little racist in a manner. And
I see.
Being a tiefling may not be the best option.
Very well.
A half elf. What about humans? Like just like thinking back at home, were humans like kind of like were their nose turned up, but they were kind of accepted, or was it just like?
Yeah, so that's a deal with them because there are half elves there, and so their human family members may be there as well. And so yeah, that would be the case. Like humans are kind of like they turn their nose up at them, they're frowned upon, but they are, I suppose, welcome. They're tolerated.
Okay.
In a way,
That's what I
whereas most
figured.
elves may not be.
Yeah.
Either a half elf or a human, even another elf, like just looking
Yeah,
different, would be fine.
Just like, make me white. I'm kidding.
Is it with the whitewashing?
Making you white.
We're gonna get to my hate comments on this. But yeah, just like, yeah, another elf, or like she just explains, like, you know, you could change me into a half elf, another elf that looks completely different, or even a human would be
Something else.
if it's something else, something completely different. Because if anything were to happen, I don't want you guys getting involved. So, but I can't just stand idly by as all this is happening.
Eris says, I can absolutely do that.
Perfect. How long will you think it's going to take?
I can do it instantaneously, dear.
Oh my
Just
god.
give the word.
All right. Change me.
She gives you like a full makeover.
Eris kind of like sort of cracks her fingers and does like a little walk around you, just sort of looking you up and down. She kind of goes, and then she snaps her fingers and runs her hand like through the air up to down. And Faye changes from a blonde short-haired elf with a tan to a more pale elf with green eyes and dark, long, like sort of curly, flowing hair. Not like super curly, but like a sort of
What color
I
was
have,
it?
like,
bumpy, sort of dark color, like a dark brown or a black.
I have a really important question.
Yes.
Does she give her tits?
Yes, of course she does.
Faye's gonna look down. She's just like,
Oh my god.
oh god.
Not
I
like
don't know how to handle these.
yeah, I'm not saying like massive melons, like
No, but like
But-
just like bigger than usual. It's just like, oh god, shit.
she smiles and she says, "You said different, dear."
I know, but it's whatever. It's fine.
I'll deal with it.
Well,
I'll
you
handle
do
this,
look different.
Hey.
Are you talking about my boobs?
Are you still like, just stop looking? My eyes are up here.
Jesus.
I also need to think of a fake name just in case.
Lesyra just kind of laughs and says, "Hey, Phage finally joined the club."
Shut up.
No,
Shut up.
Jeez.
The
At
big
least mine won't be
tits.
sagging on the ground in like 30 years.
Oh my god.
And so the violence and fighting begins. The session where the party turns on themselves because Eris gave Faye tits.
The whole like fucking like continent that's on fire is like, what the fuck happened?
A
Like,
mistake,
I'm
really.
just, like giving elf tits.
Eris just like shrugs like, sorry. Nessie always knew this would be the way the world would end. Eris is doing it.
She after Faye kind of gathers her composure a bit, she's like, you know, it may be wise if we're going to the Greenwoods. I'm pretty familiar with that area, obviously.
Mhm.
I mean, it was near my home and everything, but it may be wise to possibly bring my brother along because we know these woods like the back of our hands. We can easily guide you anywhere you need to go. Plus, if he was with us and we were encountered, it may be better because people don't really like outsiders, and if it's just a few random people, but if we have my brother along who, you know, a
Yeah,
little
that sounds good.
better.
Lesyra sweats.
Like, no, I agree. I disagree.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be there, please. No, Simon nods and he says,
If you don't wanna, I suggested it. It's free out on the table. If you don't want it, it's fine.
Simon nods and he says, strength in numbers is a good strategy and a good idea. That way, if you guys end up getting split up at all, there's more chance that you'll have someone that knows where they're going in that place.
Okay, that's 2 days.
Lesyra just kind of just turns red a little bit and says, "Yeah, that sounds okay."
Are we going to talk to Diana before making a decision, or?
Yes, and I can do that. If I go somewhere quiet, I can cast Sending because I changed my spells.
Yay!
Good going.
I wasn't expecting it. I was just like, oh, I'll just switch to the downtime ones because that's some pretty, useful stuff. But yeah, if I go to a nice quiet place, I can go ahead and telepathically talk to Diana. And
Yeah, I can talk to it. Everybody, fuck off.
I was gonna joke around and say go. I was gonna joke around and say go to your room.
Jesus
But I mean-
Christ, no.
But I mean, that's probably the quietest you'll get.
Yeah.
But yeah, Faye's gonna head back. She's just gonna excuse herself and then heads back to her room. And then she's going to cast. She's gonna cast Sending. I can only send about 25 words or less to a creature you are familiar. So basically, I'm gonna be talking to Diana in her mind, but I have to keep it as short as I can. Short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah.
So, and she can actually respond,
She
but
can,
I think it's just,
yes.
but it's only like right back away, and I think it's just that's it.
Yeah, you get one message to her, she gets one back, and that's it.
Okay, so I get to my room, I get to a quiet place, and I kind of get in a comfortable position, and I get a hold of Diana, and I tell her, hopefully, I'm gonna try and just off the top of my head, because I'm not gonna write out like a 25-word thing.
Yeah, no, I'm
Just
not
to make
gonna
sure.
I'm not gonna be super strict on that. That's more of like
Okay.
a keep it
Just
short
like-
kind of restriction.
Okay. Because I was like, it's like 4 a.m. My brain
Yeah,
isn't
no,
working.
that's totally fine.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
You're right ahead.
So she just messaged her, and she just says, so she's just like, at first she's just like, she's like, Diana, it's me, Faye, and I'm just letting you know that Lesyra just got back, and she informed us of the current situation. We are heading to the Greenwoods, talking to a green dragon, and we have also almost completed the ingredients for the ritual. We just need a soul, but we wanted your opinion first. And then that is what I sent to her.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like Diana just all of a sudden just like, what the fuck?
Diana's
Just
Yeah.
like fainter.
Yeah, because it's
She's
very
just-
half
What the
bits
fuck?
of
Yeah.
information. So she's
It's
like,
also
oh,
Out of
first of all, this
nowhere.
yeah, like
Like you're
first of all,
sitting
out
there
of
with
nowhere.
Clovis. Yeah, sitting there with
See-
Clovis just chilling, then you get this message, you're like, and then you have to reply to that message.
yeah.
You're just like, oh shit.
Just
I'll be right
fucking
back.
eating a
I
piece
got-
of toast.
Yeah,
And
press 1 to reply
basically,
now.
it's
Are
really
you-
funny because it's basically like D&D texting in a way.
Yeah. It is.
Are
It's
you
just
guys
very
expecting like a
expensive.
full-on response right now, or do you just want to know that she got the message and that she knows?
I think you have to respond pretty
Oh, I know, but
instantaneously.
what I'm asking is, are you guys expecting like a full-on answer from that, or do you just want to know that she got it?
Yeah, if you want to know she just got it, like she can just acknowledge the information, and then I could always I can keep the spell on me while I'm traveling, and then I can cast sending again. I think it says duration 1 round, but I'm not sure exactly how long I have to wait before I can cast it again.
It's because it's your spell
No,
slots.
it's just a third level spell slot. So.
Third level spell slot, yeah.
Anyway, well, I think what Pris means is like
because it's very short information, so there's only so much that you can glean from it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always like wait until later.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then I can
guess
send
she'll
her.
just be. I guess she'll just say that she's got it, and then she'll try to get in contact soon, so she can. So they can probably properly talk about the situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, with that being done, you guys have made plans to go to the Greenwood to commune with such a beast. There's a disguise that's been put into place. Everyone's getting ready. And
I'm assuming we're gonna leave the same day. Well, yeah, obviously, I already got my spell on.
Up to you guys, but I believe that is where we will probably leave it for this session.
So you guys can finally go to.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
I'll stop the recording then.